Hi warriors, it's Hannah here and welcome back to another video. A long-awaited what I eat in a day. Anyway, long-awaited for particularly one of you watching. Namely, the person who is deciding my meals today. I'm in Spain now. I arrived yesterday. Let's do this. I do want to say as well that since I got back to the UK, my stomach's been a little bit off. I managed to catch food poisoning literally on the day of my flight back. So bear with me as I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. I haven't slept that well, have been trying to eat in spite of a lack of appetite, and it's not easy, and especially feeling uncomfortable and bloated all of the time. Well, you all know it's not nice. On that note, I have been focusing on the self-care. I have been focusing on particularly my sleep, and being here in Spain, my mum has got the best pillows. But I decided, what's the point in having the best pillows here in Spain, but not having particularly nice pillows in England, where we're currently looking to buy a house. So I got myself a Zamat pillow. And I posted about this on Instagram and actually got a lot of questions on it. So I just wanted to say that this is the one I bought and I love it. And I know it's a little bit of an investment, but it's an investment into good quality sleep, which impacts your mood. It impacts my posture. I struggle with a lot of back pain, especially at certain times of the month. And just making sure I get good quality sleep and have good posture in my sleep is just, you know, really important for me, whether I decide to lie on my side, my stomach, or my back. Before I ramble on for too long, this video isn't sponsored, but Zamat kindly gifted me this pillow and have provided a 15% discount code if you're looking for a pillow of your own. I can definitely highly recommend this pillow. I slept on it once the night before I was due to fly, and in spite of lots of things going through my head, I slept like a brick. So go and get yourself a pillow, get nice and comfy, grab yourself a snack now, and let's get eating. Before getting on that flight, Tom and I also went for burgers in the park. We got some dessert, some drinks. We're just focusing on, obviously, nourishment, but mentally and physically and emotionally, spending time with loved ones, trying to sort out my priorities, because I love my work, but there's so much to life. Let's start off by saying that I beat my eating disorder over 10 years ago, and Evelien has never had an eating disorder. But nevertheless, I think this day, despite the breakfast being absolutely bomb, might be a little bit tough and quite time consuming. As with anything, change takes time, and initially things may start to feel a bit worse before they get better. Physically, but also just in terms of getting used to that change, maybe spending more time in the kitchen, spending more time taking care of yourself, doing the things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, today we had to put a lot of conscious thought into the meals, not something we do every day, but it was required because we'd be making a lot of dishes we don't normally make. There were a lot of meals and snacks to plan, as in finding the recipes for them, finding the ingredients, and then actually cooking it all. We did spend a good chunk of our day in the kitchen, and while I quite enjoy this and do this as a job, I also see how it can be a bit stressful and anxiety-inducing, especially if you have a lot of other things on your mind, or if the eating disorder is still very strong. Equally, having a meal plan does take the second guessing out of the equation. Your meals are set, and all you have to do is resign to that and eat them. And if you prep enough in advance, you don't have to spend all day, every day in the kitchen, but just put some thought and effort in several times a week. It's not all set in stone and open to adaptation. which is what we did with breakfast too.
Yeah, definitely. I think if this was an actual meal plan we were following, we would make some changes. So we'd meal prep in advance so we wouldn't have to do this kind of work every single day. But also what we did with breakfast was we were supposed to have a side of apple, which to me sounded quite boring. We caramelized it with some butter and some sugar, and it just brought it up to the next level.
Equally, I'm not the biggest fan of just plain oats, and the idea for the oats was to have cinnamon sugar on top. Apple, cinnamon, and sugar goes very well together. This was like eating apple pie for breakfast.
For that same reason as well, we combined some of my Protein World oats with some regular oats. As I've said before, I love this oatmeal. It's got some cinnamon and some flavouring already added to it, as well as lots of vitamins added to it. So if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, definitely check it out with my discount code.
So while you're checking out that discount link, why don't you just subscribe to the channel?
We're just doing a bit of work outside, and I just got a new testimonial for my coaching, for my program, for on my website. And this girl, this client, she's absolutely amazing. And look at that review. Look at that. I love you guys so much. This coaching client is making a lot of steps in her recovery, and I so clearly remember when I was going through all of those same things and it was super scary. But having that support, that accountability, honestly, it's unparalleled. Anyway, back in the day, during my recovery, I did rely a little bit more on a meal plan, some more structure, and spending more time in the kitchen, something I don't really do anymore nowadays. Takes me back to the Bali days, every morning. I have other things to do, and to be honest, feeding myself is just one of those things that happens along the way, but it's not something I consciously put too much thought into. Anyway, today things are different, and I'm actually quite excited to try out some new recipes and to share them with you. If you're just starting a new meal plan or struggling to be compliant to your meal plan, take this as some inspiration and join me today. I've actually never made tacos before. Aren't they normally like the smaller tortilla shells? We've only got massive ones. I'm sure we can do something with it. We'll roll with it.
So weak.
Why are you so weak? Yay! What is your best advice on a bad day? Just when you're feeling a little bit CRUMBLE? What's your best self-care tip?
For me, it really depends. Some days when I'm having a bad day, it simply helps to decide to wear my favorite outfit, be it my favorite socks. Do something little like that, or go to my favorite cafe. Just that little bit of self-care. Other days when I really feel like it's a really crap day, sometimes I just need to accept it. If I wake up and I feel like it's a bad day, maybe I can still turn it around. If by noon I still feel like it's a bad day, sometimes I just need to accept this, maybe cancel my plans, take it more slowly, do nothing all day if that feels like it's right, and look forward to tomorrow instead.
I'm just out here balancing my camera on a chair, catching the last bit of sunlight before I go off to bed. It's been a tiring day, not gonna lie. I have been in the kitchen for the past however many hours. After dinner, thankfully went for a little dog walk with my parents and the dogs. But I am exhausted. Evelien went for a swim later in the afternoon, so I had my snack on my own. And then had dinner with just my parents because Evelien came back briefly and then went off to a few appointments. So you haven't seen any more of her in the rest of this video, but it was really nice to have a partner in crime. Equally, if you don't have this partner in crime, remind yourself of the fact that you do need to eat, even if no one else is eating, or even if other people don't need to eat as much as you do. Eating well is part of that self-care we talked about earlier. So is taking rest. I'm absolutely exhausted, as I said, from this busy day. So I'm off to read a bit and go to bed. Good night.